For decades, hollow points ruled the world of defensive ammunition. If you carried a handgun, you carried hollow points. If you asked a police officer what they trusted, they would tell you hollow points. If you searched the internet for advice, every forum, every magazine, every instructor said the same thing. Use hollow points. They expand, they stop threats quickly, and they reduce the chance of overpenetration. For years, that was the unbreakable rule. But it's 2025 now, and something big has changed. Quietly, steadily, and almost without warning, thousands of gun owners across America are walking away from hollow points. Not because hollow points suddenly stopped working. Not because they lost their place in self-defense, but because new ammunition technology, new ideas, new materials, new designs has surpassed hollow points in ways nobody expected. Ammo has evolved, but most carriers are still living in the past. Welcome back to Firepower. Today we're diving into a revolution in defensive ammunition, one that explains why the rounds you trusted for decades may no longer be the best choice. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why gun owners are quitting hollow points, and what they're switching to instead. So let's begin. Before we talk about the new stuff, we need to understand the problem. Hollow points rely on one simple idea. The bullet mushrooms outward on impact, creating a wider wound channel and stopping the threat more effectively. But here's the catch. Hollow points only expand when everything goes exactly right. The cavity must stay open. The bullet must maintain enough velocity. The target must present the right type of tissue. And if even one thing goes wrong, the bullet simply doesn't expand. And in the real world, a lot of things go wrong. Thick clothing, denim, leather jackets, or soft materials can clog the hollow cavity completely. Barriers like auto glass, drywall, plywood, or metal can deform the bullet and rip apart the jacket. And short barrels, common in today's micro-compact carry guns, often don't generate enough velocity for expansion at all. Many hollow points require impact speeds far higher than what a 3-inch barrel can reliably produce. And when a hollow point fails to expand, you don't get a controlled mushroom. You get unpredictable results. Overpenetration, underpenetration, lack of straight-line performance, a wound channel half the size it should be. That's a big problem, because your life depends on consistency. Not on maybe it works, not on hopefully it expands. Defensive ammo must work every time. Which brings us to the first major category replacing hollow points: solid copper hollow points. These are not the fragile, thin-jacketed projectiles of the past. These are machined from a single block of copper with no lead core, no jacket that can peel away, and no risk of fragmentation when passing through barriers. Rounds like Barnes, TXPD, or Black Hills Honey Badger retain 100% of their weight even after punching through auto glass or steel. They expand cleanly. They open into sharp petals, and they feed far more reliably than traditional hollow points. Copper is lighter than lead, which means these rounds leave the barrel faster, giving them an advantage in short barrel carry guns. And because copper fouls less than lead, shooters running suppressors prefer SCHP rounds for their cleaner operation. In short, these bullets don't pretend to expand, they actually do, even under difficult conditions. That alone is enough for many gun owners to make the switch. Now we enter even more interesting territory: fluted solids, also known as fluid dynamic projectiles. These rounds don't expand at all, yet they still create devastating wound channels. How? Through physics. The fluted cuts in the bullet redirect soft tissue outward at high velocity, creating hydraulic displacement far more violent than a typical hollow point. Because they don't depend on mushrooming, they cannot clog. They cannot fail to expand. They behave the same whether you shoot through denim, plywood, a heavy coat, or bare gelatin. Lehigh Defense's Extreme Defense and Extreme Penetrator rounds are perfect examples. They penetrate deeply, typically between 16 and 18 inches, and they do it with incredible consistency. They feed flawlessly, especially in micro-compact pistols that sometimes struggle with traditional hollow point shapes. And in states like New Jersey, where hollow points are restricted, fluted solids remain completely legal. For many gun owners, that alone is a deciding factor, but the evolution doesn't stop there. Another rising category is tumble-on impact ammunition. Fort Scott's TUI loads are the best-known example. These rounds don't expand and they don't fragment, but the moment they enter soft tissue, they destabilize and begin to tumble end over end. This tumbling creates chaotic energy transfer and massive internal disruption. The wound paths zigzag, twist, and rip through vital organs with surprising efficiency. The beauty of tumble rounds is that they don't depend on velocity thresholds, so they work exceptionally well in short-barrel handguns and calibers that traditionally struggle with expansion, such as .380 ACP. A .380 hollow point often fails to expand due to low impact velocity, but a .380 TUI round tumbles immediately, creating a much more effective terminal effect. For people who carry pocket pistols or micro-compacts, TUI ammo solves a problem hollow points can't. Now, not everyone wants to abandon hollow points entirely. Some carriers still prefer expansion, and that's where bonded hollow points come in. These are not ordinary hollow points. They are hollow points built with a molecular bond between the lead core and copper jacket. This bonding prevents separation when the bullet hits hard barriers like auto glass. Round such as Speer Gold G2, Federal Tactical Bonded, and Remington Golden Saber Bonded are trusted by law enforcement because they maintain their structure and continue to expand even under extreme conditions. Bonded JHPs fixed many of the historical flaws of older hollow point designs, and while they still depend on velocity for expansion, they do so more reliably and more consistently. For carriers who prefer the traditional approach, bonded JHP is the hollow point, but better option. But if we're talking about reliability, we have to talk about ballistic tip hollow points, like Hornady Critical Defense and Critical Duty. These bullets use a polymer insert inside the hollow cavity, preventing clogging and ensuring consistent expansion through clothing. The polymer tip also improves feeding reliability, making them ideal for small, picky carry pistols. Critical Defense is built for civilian encounters at typical engagement distances, while Critical Duty is designed to pass full FBI barrier protocols. These rounds represent the natural evolution of the hollow point: smarter, more reliable, and more adaptable. Finally, we reach the newest category: frangible and hybrid defensive rounds. Frangible bullets, such as those from centerfire or Winchester, are designed to break apart when hitting hard surfaces, reducing the risk of ricochet or overpenetration. Yet, when they enter soft tissue, they penetrate effectively before fragmenting. For home defense, especially in apartments or houses with thin walls, this makes them extremely appealing. Hybrid rounds like Lehigh's Controlled Chaos take things further by combining deep initial penetration with delayed fragmentation. These bullets don't expand. They break apart inside the target in a predictable, controlled pattern. The result is a devastating wound channel without relying on traditional hollow point mechanics. All of these innovations point to a single truth: hollow points are no longer the only effective option. They're no longer the default, and in many cases, they're no longer the best choice. Modern defensive ammunition relies on physics, material science, and reliable mechanisms, not on expansion alone. The world has shifted, the guns have changed, the threats have changed, and ammo technology has finally caught up. So the question becomes, should you quit hollow points? The answer depends on your priorities. If you want maximum consistency through clothing and barriers, solid copper or fluted solids might be your answer. If you carry a micro compact and need something that performs at low velocity, tumble-on impact ammo might be ideal. If you want the most battle-proven option, bonded JHP still holds its own. And if you're concerned about over-penetration inside your home, frangible rounds may be the safest choice. But no matter what you choose, remember this. Ammunition is a tool, and tools evolve. The best ammo of 1998 is not the best ammo of 2025. And the sooner we stop treating hollow points like a religion and start treating them like technology, the safer and more prepared we become. Now I want to hear from you. Are you sticking with hollow points? Switching to copper solids? Testing fluted ammo? Or exploring hybrid designs? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Your real-world experience helps everyone watching. If you want to see full barrier tests with every one of these modern rounds through denim, drywall, glass, and ballistic gel, hit subscribe. The next video might change everything you think you know about defensive ammunition. This is Firepower. Stay sharp, stay trained, stay protected.